only just begun. Cavalry has our names and addresses.
Just running scared.
Are we safe, Angela?
Each place we go.
There's a vast and insidious conspiracy. If I told you about it, your head would explode.
Just running scared.
What is this?
This is the only way to show you the truth.
You need to help stop the 7th Cavalry.
From doing what?
Those fuckers are trying to start a war.
My heart was breaking. Which one would it be? You turn around and walk away with me.
Well, it looks like you got things under control here. Full costume.
Thanks.
Just running scared.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. This is going to be my non-spoilery Watchmen Episode 1 review. I've had a chance to see an early version of the episode, so we'll break it down. I'll explain some context for when the series takes place relative to the previous Watchmen story, if you've seen the movie or if you read the original comic book. There are 9 episodes total instead of the usual 10 you would expect from a traditional HBO series, but I will be doing weekly episodes and Easter egg videos. Be sure to subscribe if you're brand new to my channel. I will do weekly giveaways too, either for HBO Now or for the comic book series or anything you guys want. Important context for the series though, this is meant to be a sequel series to the original Alan Moore comic book, not the movie. The movie changed some things about the original comic book, so a lot of things that are referenced during episode 1, when they sort of catch you up to speed on what the world is like in present day, it's the present day of the comic book, not the movie. It takes place in present day 2019, so it's been 35 years since Adrian Veidt, Ozymandius, portaled in a giant alien squid to Manhattan, killing millions of people in his attempt to bring about world peace. If it's been a long time since you saw the movie or you didn't read the comic book, quick explainer for how the comic book ended and how that was different from the movie. On Earth, Night Owl and Rorschach are going around trying to uncover this conspiracy that they think that Ozymandias is behind. Rorschach writes everything down in a journal and then mails it to the New Frontiersman newspaper. There's sort of a tag scene at the end of the series where it seems like they're going to publish that and reveal all the secrets of Ozymandias' larger plan, undoing everything that he tried to do. Eventually, they discover Ozymandias in his Antarctic retreat, and he tells them about his plan to unite humanity against a common enemy, that common enemy being Dr. Manhattan. Eventually, Dr. Manhattan comes back to Earth, witnesses all the destruction, and finds out that Ozymandias has been blocking his ability to see into the future with tachyons. When he confronts Ozymandias, Ozymandias gives him his case for humanity and why it's necessary to blame him for everything so that humanity could advance as a species the way that it needs to. Dr. Manhattan, who's lost most of his humanity as he's become more and more godlike, actually agrees with Ozymandias, but Rorschach isn't having any of it. He tells them that you'll have to kill me in order to prevent me from revealing the lies that you've been telling everyone. So Dr. Manhattan, big WTF moment, kills Rorschach because he thinks that it's for the betterment of human society. Then, as he says at the end of the movie and at the end of the comic book, he's going to leave to attempt to create some new life somewhere else, implying that he's going to be leaving the solar system and going to another part of the universe. His parting words are "nothing ever ends," and they've actually been using that sentence to market the series, so obviously Dr. Manhattan's still very important to the story of the new modern series. The main difference between the end of the original comic series and the movie is that they substituted a giant space squid because they felt like that was too weird for non-comic book audiences for a giant nuclear-seeming bomb meant to mimic the powers of Dr. Manhattan so that the energy signature would read like it was him who was causing the explosion. Once we actually get into the episodes, I will reference moments from the comic books when they come up as Easter eggs in episodes. If you feel like it's too much to actually go back and read the original comic series, they actually did a pretty decent motion comic. It received a lot of criticism because the design wasn't great, but they actually did adapt the entire comic series into a big motion comic.
Condoning or condemning. Human affairs cannot be my concern. I'm leaving this galaxy for one less complicated. But you'd regained interest in human life. Yes, I have. I think perhaps I'll create some. Goodbye, Adrian. John, wait. I did the right thing, didn't I? It all worked out in the end. In the end? Nothing ends, Adrian. Nothing ever ends. John, wait. What do you mean by...
Just like the original series was a very realistic, hard look at our relationship to society with vigilantes, it's the same thing with the new Watchmen series, just updated with more modern context. So they have some modern technology, but not others. There are some weird things happening in present day just because of the way things unfolded after the events of the original Watchmen comic book series. So there's no internet, nobody has smartphones because they've been outlawed, and because presidential term limits were abolished in the original series, Robert Redford succeeded Nixon as US president and has been president for the last 30 plus years. Even guns have been outlawed, but because we have Dr. Manhattan in this world, there was a lot of science and technology that they adapted from his abilities, so they do have some advanced technology. There are a lot of characters that they bring back from the original comic book series. Dr. Manhattan is still a very important character to the series. You have an older version of Silk Spectre, and you have Ozymandius. And obviously, there's a lot of mysteries that they have not revealed that we'll find out about in later episodes, so I'm assuming that they included a lot more stuff from the original series. The main antagonists when the series picks up, as the trailers have all told you, are the people wearing these Rorschach masks. They call them the 7th Cavalry. The 7th Cavalry carries out a giant hit on the police department, so they outlaw vigilantes. The only people that are legally allowed to wear masks are people that work for the police department or other law enforcement agencies. Regina King's character takes up the persona Sister Night when she's in her vigilante costume and sets about the task of taking down the 7th Cavalry. As she starts to unravel the mystery behind the 7th Cavalry, they start to unfurl more and more Easter eggs from the classic comic book series, making it bigger and bigger. Obviously, this is meant to be a 9-episode series, so they're going to answer most of the big questions in the finale. But whereas the earlier trailers make it seem like it's a pretty simple situation where the Cult of Rorschach maybe got their hands on Rorschach's journal from the original series, you also see this very Dr. Manhattan symbol behind Laurie looking like they're getting ready to brainwash her or interrogate her, making it seem like they're more obsessed with Dr. Manhattan than they are with Rorschach's journal. Jean Smart was great as the older version of Laurie Blake, aka Silk Spectre, and obviously Jeremy Irons is fantastic as the older Ozymandius. You don't know exactly what's going on with his character right away, but that's part of the larger mystery that they unfurl as episodes go on. Even though Alan Moore's material that they're adapting is super dense and laced with meaning, you could deconstruct it for years, and it has been deconstructed for many years. The pacing in the first episode is fantastic. They don't throw too much at you too fast. Obviously, I'll be doing Easter egg videos, so I'm really looking forward to rewatching the first episode. Don Johnson is fantastic. I was actually surprised when he was cast. He's not playing a character from the original series, but he does have a lot of good scenes with Laurie Blake and with Regina King's character. They do this weird thing in the first episode too, where they open with a giant flashback that you've seen in all the trailers to the original race riots from the 1920s in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So a lot of the series, at least at first, takes place in and around modern-day Tulsa, Oklahoma. As mundane as that might sound, you have to remember that this is a world where Dr. Manhattan existed, so there are a lot of fantastical things and big mysteries that appear during the first episode, but part of the fun is taking Angela's perspective as she's sort of learning about the world of Watchmen and learning about these larger conspiracies, like Lou Gossett Jr.'s character tells her, a wide-ranging conspiracy that would blow your mind. And if you didn't hear the good news earlier this year, Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross are doing the music for the series. That's right, you're getting Alan Moore's story set to Nine Inch Nails music. It's really haunting and really amazing at the same time. It's perfect. It was a great choice to pick them. I've only seen the first episode, so I can't say too much about the other Easter eggs that they include from the comic book, but like I said, I'm expecting to find a lot more as we get on in episodes. The way they designed the series, too, was to be relatively self-contained to the first season, so all the big mysteries that they set up in the first couple of episodes, they will answer by the finale. I did think it was kind of weird that they only went for 9 episodes instead of 10, but I think part of the idea is they wanted to air all of the episodes before the Christmas holiday, so there won't be any kind of break in the middle of the season. I expect I'll probably enjoy it a little bit more than I enjoyed Westworld just because I'm a little bit more of a comic book person and there's so much comic book in this series. Also happening really soon too is the Mandalorian series on Disney+. That's going to be launching November 12th, but it'll be a Friday show for all the rest of the episodes. This is actually the episode schedule for that, so I will be doing Watchmen and Star Wars Mandalorian episode videos all season long for the rest of the year. And if you're a really big fan of the Witcher series, there's also new Witcher episodes that will be premiering a little bit later, I believe in December. So there's actually a lot of really cool stuff coming up before the end of the year. If you have any big questions about the series that you want me to include in videos, just let me know in the comments. But my episode 1 Easter egg video, my top 10 WTF, that will post this Sunday night. So as long as you have alerts enabled for my channel, you should see that when I post it. While you wait for everything, click here for that brand new Witcher Netflix trailer video, and click here for my Mandalorian Star Wars trailer video. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.